Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's your host, Ovi Mark. So today I'm going to be taking a special dive into the issue of governor, ex-governor, so to say, and now Senator Orji Uzo Kalu. So Senator Uzo Kalu has had a long row with the Nigerian government over some time now through the EFCC arm of the government, as the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. So for a case that has stemmed over 12 years, right from 2007 when Orji Uzo Kalu left office, and a case that has dragged up till this very year, that's about 12 years, the federal government has had issues with Orji Uzo Kalu, with the claim that Orji Uzo Kalu, while he was governor of Abia State, that he looted funds from the state treasury to the tune of about 7.65 billion naira. So the EFCC have investigated him over the years and think that he's guilty. So immediately after his tenure in office, they filed a case against him in court, a case of about 30 count charges against the governor, of which fraud was one of them. In fact, fraud was a major allegation brought against him. So Orji Uzo Kalu was the governor of Abia State from 1999. He governed from 1999 till about 2007, and immediately he left office, the EFCC brought out this fraud case against him, and ever since then the case has been in court. So like I said, the case dragged for 12 years, and then eventually, sometime last year, 2019, precisely December 8th, 2019, the Federal High Court found Senator Uzo Kalu guilty of fraud, and the case was presided over by the judge Idris Muhammad. Now, here is the controversy about this whole issue. The controversy is that Idris Muhammad took up the case. He was a lower ranked judge, so to say. While the case proceeded, he moved up in the judicial rank. So he moved from being in the high court level or strata into an appeal court judge. All right. So now, while he was in the case, he was promoted, and then the lawyers or the defense counsel argued that since he has been moved from the position of being just a federal high court judge to an appeal judge, he no longer has jurisdiction to handle the case. Still, Justice Mohammed went on with the case and declared Senator Uzo Kalu guilty of fraud. All right. So he was given a 12 years jail term. And out of those 12 years, he has served just about 5 months. And here was the bomb that happened yesterday, and it blew everyone off. Uzo Kalu, together with his co-defendant, Mr. Ude Uzogu. Ude Uzogu was the director of finance for Uzo Kalu when Uzo Kalu was a governor. So they were both allegations were brought. The case was brought against the two of them that they defrauded the state government of monies worth billions. So they brought an appeal to the Supreme Court now. Remember, the case has been lingering on all the way from the lower courts now up to the Supreme Court after processes of appeal. The case got to the appeal court. Obviously, after Uzo Kalu was sentenced last year, his lawyers have been filing this appeal. So the case got to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, to the amazement of everybody, held that the justice had no right to pronounce judgment, no powers to pronounce. In fact, it was illegal for him to pronounce the senator guilty because at that time he no longer has jurisdiction in that same court. So, as it stands right now, Orji Uzo Kalu, who was convicted of crime, suddenly is free of any crime against him. How can someone go to bed a criminal today or last night and he wakes up the next morning a free man? Wow, this case was so intriguing. I thought that I should jump on this case. So Uzo Kalu at the moment is free, but temporarily the Supreme Court held that the grounds under which the governor was, or the ex-governor was sentenced to jail was based on illegality. It was a faulty foundation. So what the Supreme Court held was that all charges against him are still there, but the conviction was null and void. Meaning, in the eyes of the law, Uzo Kalu has never committed that fraud allegation that has been brought against him and his co-defendant. So he's free for now. Supreme Court ordered them to go back and start the proceedings all over. And you know what? This proceeding that was quashed took about 12 years. Now they're going to start over. Who knows how long it will take? Governor Uzo Kalu, or ex-governor, he served Imo State as governor from 2007, I beg your pardon, from 1999 to about 2007. And after that era, he got another appointment as the senator representing Abia North Senatorial District in the Senate. And prior to his conviction, he was the chief whip of the Senate. Okay. Now, when he was found guilty sometime last year, there was controversy about his seat in the Senate. Controversy in terms that should his seat be rendered vacant. Now, there was pressure on the Senate President Lawan to declare the seat of Uzo Kalu, that's the Abia North Senatorial District, vacant. And from news we heard, people who elected Uzo Kalu into that position were worried because they felt that since Uzo Kalu was going to be there for 12 years, there will be nobody to represent their rights and their concerns in the Senate. So they were yearning for someone to take over that seat. Now, Lawan, the Senate President, posited that since Uzo Kalu placed an appeal, since he appealed that judgment that was made against him, that it would be unfair for his seat to be declared vacant, because right now the case hasn't been finalized, even though he had been convicted, because there was still an appeal case in court. So that motion for the seat to be declared vacant was stayed. And we woke up today and we saw that the Supreme Court the Supreme Court just overturned that judgment. All right, a 7-man panel committee of judges all came together. They heard the case and they decided that Senator Orji Uzo Kalu was convicted on grounds of illegality, in quotes, illegality. And what was the illegality? A judge of higher rank, so to say, I'm using layman terms, of higher rank, cannot condescend low to a lower court to pass judgment on someone who is in a case. All right, so you cannot leave the appeal court, then come down to the federal high court to give a judgment. All right, so so many permutations about this case. We're really waiting to see what's going to happen next. I, for one, I'm wondering and I'm thinking how long this case would take. If the previous case took 12 years, who knows how long this one is going to take. Now, can you believe the lifeline that has been given to this man is just like a cat with 9 lives? And I know this time his team of lawyers the defendants, they are going to put in a whole lot of work this time, put in a whole lot of work to make sure that they grab the man out of the claws of the tiger. But I'm wondering, do you think Governor Uzo Kalu was actually guilty? According to the law, he's not, because the laws, constitution states that a man or woman or whoever, so long as you're a citizen of the country, you cannot be declared guilty of any crime until it has been proven beyond reasonable doubt in any court of law. Right now, the case has not been proven beyond reasonable doubt. As a matter of fact, there is no case at the moment because the case has been squashed. You know, it's like being born again in Christianity. All the sins that you've committed, whether you did them, once you repent in the eyes of God, all your sins are blotted out. That's how it seems right now. So Senator Orji Uzo Kalu, so to say, he's born again right now, if you know what I mean, and he's free from every charge against him. So the Supreme Court ordered that the prosecution team should go back and restate their case, starting from the very beginning where it started. So start the process all over, get your facts and evidence all over. But the EFCC, the Economic Financial Crimes Commission, is so confident that the case they have against Orji is so genuine. They believe that they have more than enough facts to nail the man down, because they say the facts against him are overwhelming. Now, while that previous case was on, the properties, the personal belongings of Orji Uzo Kalu had been confiscated. I did some research and I found out that it was Orji who owned The Sun, the publishing house, publishing newspaper. That also was confiscated by the government, and some of his other properties, including the properties of the director of finance for Abia State when Orji Uzo Kalu was the governor. So right now, I read the speech of Orji when he heard the news that he had been free. He said he just cannot wait to go back and take his seat as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This was what I was thinking. What if the House had actually declared his seat vacant and he had been replaced by a new senator? What do you think would have happened? This is what I think. If that happened and now his case, the judgment against him had been declared legal, I'm sure the person who took his seat would have been vacated, because it would be like his seat was taken illegally too. You get it? So the Senate uses wisdom there. So from what I hear, Orji is still in prison until the paperwork are finalized. So once the paperwork are finalized, he will be out, and then he'll resume his normal duties, because right now there's no case against him. There's no charge against him. He's a free man. He's a free man. Talking about being a criminal yesterday and today you are a free man. Free from all charges. But this time he has to go back and prove beyond reasonable doubt that he was not guilty. Now, there's going to be a whole lot of backdoor manipulations around this case. Trust me, for someone who has tasted jail for 5 months, he will do everything possible to make sure he doesn't go there. Whatever to take financially, connections, you know, he will just do anything possible. Right now, he's a free man. No fraud against him, no case against him. And the EFCC is pretty much bent on this case. The lawyers, the prosecution lawyers have said that they're going to start the case almost immediately. EFCC saying they're starting the case almost immediately. They're not going back to sit and wait, you know. So I'm wondering, since the EFCC is so much bent on this case, could there really be something underneath? Because like they say, there is no smoke without fire. Could there really be something underneath that 7.5 billion that is missing? Did they actually steal it? I guess we'll just have to find out in the coming year. Stay tuned to the channel. I'll definitely keep you posted on what's going on. All right. So let's look at it from another angle. Could it also be that Orji Uzo Kalu has picked up some enemies in his political race along the line? Remember, when he got his mandate through another political party. He then switched allegiance from that political party to APC, the All Progressive Congress. I personally kind of feel that that act alone brought him a lot of enemies, political enemies, and some of those enemies are actually on his neck and they're bent on making sure that he pays for that. You know, it's like, you know what they say about this adage that you're trying to bite the finger that fed you? That kind of a thing. Like they say, you can never eat your cake and have it. But from the outlook of this case, it seems a lot of people feel that the governor is innocent. While some think that he's guilty, others think that he's innocent. What do you think? Do you think that Orji Uzo Kalu actually defrauded Abia State of more than 7 billion Nigerian naira, or you think it's an allegation against him? All right, hit me up in the comment section just below this video. Let me know your thoughts. If you're new to the channel, please click the subscribe button. You know, this helps us to keep the channel going. If you're new, also click the bell notification icon so that anytime I drop new videos, you can be notified. Like the video, share the video, and always come back for more, because there'll always be more on this channel to keep you entertained. Until I see you again, people, do take care, stay good, take care of yourself, and peace out.